Hello everyone, this is Nocturne, and welcome back to some more Minecraft. Wanted to kind of give you guys this nice cool looking shot of the Thaumcraft house with a few little decoration upgrades I've given it. It's actually kind of a really nice angle. So I still am waiting to hear back from you guys on some thoughts and suggestions for what else we can do, but in the meantime, I went ahead and tried out a few things. Added some of the red Zycordite blocks, and added a couple cool little things from Thaumcraft research. This is Nitor. Very similar to the Elementum, except it provides light instead of explosions. Haven't done much in here. I did try out this. This is actually something from Furniturecraft, or Jemmy's Furniture mod, I believe. It's like you see, a grandfather clock, and it has this cool little secret hiding place. And since we're over here, I did want to let you guys know I have been very busy doing some research. As you can see, I have all kinds of cool things ready to go, which we will be getting to in future episodes, because as I explained back in episode 9, that we were probably going to be getting some work done on the Nether Nexus. And I definitely think that's where we're going to end up with this episode. But there are a few little upgrades, a few little crafty items that we need to get to that we really are going to end up needing, considering how much building is going to be going into our Nexus. I've actually been putting a lot of thought into how I want it to look, and we're going to need quite a few blocks, and to that end, I'm going to need somewhere to store them because, well, while it does seem like I got a lot of space here, it really is not enough. So for the first thing I want to do, I wanted to go ahead and craft us up some storage upgrades. It won't upgrade our own personal inventory, but it does help a whole lot. These are called backpacks, and they're brought to us by forestry, and the base recipe is like you see here. You need 2 pieces of wool, 4 string, and a chest in the middle. And let me actually go ahead and pull them up for you. There's all sorts of varieties. You've got the regular size, and you've got the extended size. Unfortunately, you can't do the extended size until we get into some more of the bee work, which we'll be getting into in the future. I'm just not entirely sure when yet, but not to worry, we'll be getting to that, and it's pretty fun. A lot of off-screen stuff, I'm sure, when we get to it finally, but it will be kind of cool. So, all sorts of varieties, and there's even a few, like this one, added by Thaumic Bees, and this one added by Computercraft. Actually, I think Misk Peripherals added this one, and even this one added by Railcraft. So it's really kind of cool. But let's see, first one I want to make, we need some stone, and we're going to make ourselves the Digger's Backpack. This one's great for storing all kinds of random crap, like you would find when you're digging around. So cobblestone, dirt, clay, gravel, all that kind of stuff. So it's good to have somewhere for this to go. And, whoops, I thought those were going to stay. Oh well, we can just go ahead and do this. And next up, I want to go ahead and add some clay and get us the Builder's Backpack. This one's good for all the building we're about to be doing, as it's going to hold the stone brick, the smooth stone, the marble brick, the basalt, and all that other good stuff that we're going to be needing. And the last one, which we don't necessarily need right now, but I thought it would be good to go ahead and craft it now, the Miner's Backpack. This one is great for mining. It'll hold all your ores, all your gems, all your cool stuff as you're running around digging, and it's a really awesome upgrade for storage. And very similar to the canvas bag, actually. If we go ahead and right-click with it in our hand, you see we've got a new little 15-slot inventory, just like the tooltip said. And what's really awesome about this is if we go ahead and say drop some cobble on the ground, and then maybe if we actually go and get some more cobble, drop this on the ground, you'll note it didn't go into my inventory. As it actually turns out that the backpacks are kind of cool, where if you've got less than a stack, it'll fill the stack first, and then any excess goes right into your backpack. And the backpack actually has a number of modes on it. If you sneak, right-click, You notice I just switched it into locked mode. This will actually prevent it from picking up items off the ground like that, in case you actually just want to leave them lying around, or you want to pick them up yourself, or you want to make sure they actually make it into your inventory and not the backpack, so you don't have to do the extra step of opening your backpack. The next mode is inventory supply. Basically, if you sneak and right-click on an inventory, like in this case a chest, and right-click, it will actually pull all the items out of that inventory and place them right into your backpack. And I think if we do it again, nope, we might have to be in in the default mode. But moving right along, mode number 3 is resupply mode. This will actually keep me supplied with items. So if you see, if I come out here and I start placing cobblestone, watch the cobblestone in my bar. Keeps the stack always topped off as long as there are resources available for you in the backpack. And as we pick up the extras, again, none of it went into our inventory. It all just went right into the backpack. And what I was trying to show earlier, if we go back and switch into the default mode again, and we sneak right-click on the chest, our bag is now empty, and everything is in the chest. Very awesome. And it works exactly the same for all the other backpacks. Just depends on which items that you want to put in them, because backpacks are a little picky, and they won't just let you put anything you want in them. They only allow certain items, and for that list of certain items, I would suggest going to Forestry's wiki and looking that up, because it's quite a big list and would take far too long to go through on camera. For the other ones, you could also go and check your config files, as they will be listed there in the Forestry folder under your config directory. So I'm going to go ahead and hold on to these guys. And for more storage even, this is not for carrying around, not to increase my inventory, but to increase my storage space. We're going to go back and visit factorization once more, and they have actually added a brand new type of storage item, and that is the barrel. And I'm actually going to go ahead and make a project plan, because I don't want to place all those in place again. Now the barrel, I'm going to craft as many as I can. Out of logs. That's okay. But the barrels are amazing, and I'm going to go ahead and actually grab all this cobblestone to help demonstrate. The barrel is an inventory that can store, by default, with the one we have right here, 64 stacks of a single item. So if we go ahead and place this guy down, very simple little thing. Now we can go ahead and right-click, and there you go. It tells you exactly how much is stored in there, and if we right-click on the barrel now, it'll tell us there are 64 cobblestone in this barrel. Now something else that's really cool about barrels is if you go ahead and double right-click, it takes all the item that you're holding in your hand, as long as it's valid for that barrel, it'll take everything out of your inventory and place it into the barrel. And of course you can left click and pull out a stack, but in this case, since we have our forestry backpacks on and we didn't have any in inventory, it went immediately into the backpack, which is okay. You get used to it after a while. And now, while you can store 64 stacks of anything you want in a barrel, you can only store barrels, or you can only store the one type of item in a barrel. So if I were to right click here, it's just going to tell me, yep, there's cobblestone, but it won't let me store that item. It's a different item. And I'm actually going to be using this to go ahead and store some of the supplies we're going to be needing, because my storage chests are getting a touch full, and I'd like to have a little more convenient and nice way of storing these things. And I'm probably going to go ahead and start stocking the basement with these guys, as we're probably going to end up needing them once we get to expanding our storage and automation system right here. So let me go ahead and grab those guys up here, and I'm pretty sure we're done with what's in this project table. Now, continuing with things we're going to need to continue work on the Nether Nexus. One, this diamond drill, while absolutely amazing and awesome, does have an upgrade. And again, the backpack, while amazing and awesome, just doesn't seem to have enough power to keep my drill powered up long enough to really get through all the mining, especially all the mining of resources I'm going to be needing for the Nexus, because we're going to be stocking some of these barrels. I don't know if we're going to get them full, but we're going to have lots of supplies, and I definitely don't want to have to keep running back to the house to recharge things. So, we're going to be upgrading our backpack and our diamond drill, but for that, we're going to need to do also some upgrades to our electronic circuits. And I went ahead off screen and prepared a project plan for us, just to speed things along. So as you can see, we are going to need the electronic circuit itself, a little lapis, some glowstone, and then redstone in the corners. And you can actually swap the position of the glowstone and lapis, it's not important. And that gets us the advanced circuit. And I'm actually going to need a little bit more of these guys. You guys can see I've been doing a bit of mining off screen. It's been very, very handy to have all these supplies around, but believe it or not, we're actually not all that great off when it comes to supplies, but not to fear, I do have plans. Alright, we've got our 3 advanced circuits. So I think first off, we are going to, if I can remember the recipe off the top of my head, and I can't, so 1 second. We are going to go ahead and first craft ourselves the advanced diamond drill. Ah, upside down. I always forget that. Okay, so we are going to take our first 2 advanced circuits, and we're going to take our drill, and it even retains its charge, which is extremely awesome. We don't have to go and recharge the whole thing. And we get our advanced diamond drill. And you may have noticed it required overclockers, and like I explained in episode 8, this will end up causing it to need more power as we're using it, but it does dig faster. And this is going to be very, very, very helpful, again, for all the mining I'm going to be doing off camera. Alright, so that is our drill upgrade. And again, with us using so much more power, we are definitely going to want a backpack upgrade. And for that, we are going to need some of these handy little supplies right here. Actually, I don't believe I need this guy just yet. That was going to be for something else we're going to do soon, but we don't need it yet. So, what we are going to craft now is the lap pack. And if I recall correctly, we just need to take some lapis blocks. We need to take our backpack, which, again, I mentioned this earlier, but IC2 seems to get a little confused if you don't have the backpack fully charged or fully depleted, so let's just go ahead and grab that guy back to full charge. Head back over to our project table. Drop him in here, and use an advanced circuit to somehow take advantage of the energy storage capacity of lapis blocks, and craft it backwards like always, and get ourselves the lap pack. Now look at the upgrade on that guy, 60,000 to 300,000 EU. This is going to go a long, long way, and let us stay out even longer. Very, very awesome upgrade. Now, I think, I'm not 100% on this, but I'm pretty sure we can't actually charge this guy now because he's too powerful. Which makes sense, 300,000 EU and only 40,000. Who'd want to sit there and wait for that to charge? That would take forever. So what are we going to do about this? This is a problem. I want to charge my lap pack, but... well... since the theme of the beginning of today's episode seems to be upgrades, there is an upgrade to the bat box. And the one we're going to be making today is the MFE, the Multifunctional Energy Unit, I believe was the original meaning behind that. And this guy is a really crazy looking recipe. We're going to need some gold cable. We're going to need these energy crystals, which if you look at the recipe, ooh, diamonds. Eee, it's expensive. 4 diamonds, is it really worth it? Yes, it's definitely worth it. Now, however, Greg Tech even though he's trying to make the game harder, has actually gone and been kind of a nice guy and given us an alternative to needing diamonds. If you've gone out and you've found all sorts of rubies, well, hey, you can get one a whole lot more easily. And that is what I have these guys right here for. And the gold cables, exactly like we've done with the copper cables and the tin cables, just 3 in a line. However, with gold cables, you actually need to insulate them once and then twice. And this is pretty much the only kind you ever want to use, because this is better in terms of energy transfer and the only one allowed in crafting recipes. And then we're going to need a machine block, and we're going to need these guys here in a second too, because there's an important next step that we have to go through since we're upgrading our power storage supply. So first things, let's go ahead and get our rubies. Alright. Wow. Spaced on that one. And surround it with some redstone and energy crystal. Get. Yeah. Now, again, similar to the coolant cells, they don't stack. But fortunately, I have plenty of inventory space to take care of that for now. And now we can go ahead and move on and finish crafting up our MFE. Add ourselves a machine block in the middle and some double insulated gold cable around the edges, and 1 MFE. Awesome. And since we're working with industrial craft items, we're going to go ahead and need our wrench too. So let me go ahead and place this guy down and show you guys just how much better an MFE is over a bat box. Look at that. 600,000. Well, isn't that convenient? 300,000. We could charge this guy twice. Awesome. Oh, but this is the important part. Note the output. We're at 128 EU per tick. If we go check our bat box, this guy's only doing 32 EU per tick. We're starting to get into voltage differences. This is important. This is kind of the thing I was talking about when I went and painted these lines a couple episodes back. Bat boxes are low voltage. MFEs are medium voltage. So we do not want a higher level power going into our low power machines, because otherwise this whole line will just explode in our face, and it will be sad and it will be painful. So what we're going to do first is we are going to go ahead and knock these guys out. I know I painted them, but I will paint them again. We're going to actually need to probably break a few things here, as we are going to need to actually get in here. Wow. Okay, the advanced drill actually got a bit of an upgrade. I forgot it was that fast. Whew. Nice. It has been so long since I've used one. So let's go ahead and actually get this guy back in and put his water bucket back in place. And the system will take care of it all by itself. I love this thing. Okay, so let's just clear out all the room. What we're going to need to do is probably pick up both bat boxes. Why? It is a bit of a waste of 80,000 EU, but as you saw, this guy's going to store 600,000, so I'm actually okay with losing that kind of power for now, because this watermill system is actually pretty darn fast when it comes to filling up our energy storage units. So I'm going to go ahead and drop these guys in here for later use. And don't think I'm going to need anything out of here just yet. Now we can go ahead and take our MFE and drop him right like that. And let me go ahead and actually pick up this last tin cable. And you'll note we're already starting to get some charge. The nice thing about the energy storage units in Industrial Craft is, even though this guy is medium voltage, it doesn't matter what kind of cable goes into it to charge it. What matters is what comes out. And since this is where he's going to be coming out, I'm actually going to go ahead and... Actually, I think I want to go ahead and do him this way. Yeah, that's going to work out a lot better for us. just with the idea I've got in my head right now. So, medium voltage and low voltage do not play together. How do we fix this? Very simply, and very simple real-world kinds of ways, we are going to need a transformer to transform the higher voltage into a lower voltage. And for that, we just take ourselves some planks, some copper cable, and a couple copper ingots in the middle, and we get ourselves a low voltage transformer. This will convert medium voltage into low voltage, and therefore make it safe for us to be able to take power from the MFE and feed it into our low voltage machines. Now you might notice in the texture here, there's one side that has 3 dots, and all the other sides actually only have 1 dot. The 1 dot is output of the lower voltage, and the 3 dots is the input of the higher voltage. The texture in the default textures, the non-texture pack textures, looks very similar as far as the dots go. The rest of the texture doesn't quite look like this, but that's not really all that important. What's important is 3 dots need to go towards the input, which makes sense, because if you were trying to take in higher voltage, you're probably going to need a few more lines. Okay, we got this guy down, but he's facing the wrong way. Not a problem. If we remember, just sneak, right-click. Now he's facing the direction we want, and now we can actually probably go down to the basement and grab those cables I just dropped. Oh, okay, good. I was going to say, I thought they despawned already. No! And now, because the MFE, just like the bat box, is input on all sides except for the one with the dot, we don't have to worry about copper cables touching him, because it's just going to be considered input on this side. We go ahead and drop a copper cable just like so. And no explosions. Yay! And we can go ahead and, since I've got something on me, let me go and, sure. Let's get some smooth stone. He's working. He's not losing power. I think we have success. Yay! Sorry, that little corny, but great success.
User entered your channel.
Hello. What's up?
Hello.
Ah, hey Keshem, what's up? Just working on getting some upgrades to my power system.
Upgrades are always helpful.
Yep, finally got ourselves an MFE and a LV transformer. So I'm finally going to be able to charge up my brand new lap pack. Oh yeah.
Lovely. I need to get a lap pack.
Aren't you the one working on a quantum suit already?
Yeah, I have a backpack still.
That seems like the weirdest upgrade style. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
It's just you.
Get quantum armor before higher backpack.
Exactly.
Whoops. I probably didn't want to actually cover that guy up, because now I need access to my MFE. So, I'm going to go ahead and let this guy charge. And look how wonderfully fast that charges. Oh, nice. So I'm going to go and let that guy charge, and probably going to spend a whole bunch of time mining up some resources off camera now that I've got all these awesome upgrades that I've been waiting and dying to make for you guys. And so I'm going to go and gather up some resources, let that guy charge, and rejoin you guys in the Nether. And we're going to get to starting some work on the Nexus. So I will see you guys in just a few minutes. Okay, everybody. Actually, I just went and checked the time on this episode, and we're getting pretty close to the end already, so I think we may have to leave this one as being just an upgrade all the things episode, and I kind of wanted to apologize for not actually being able to get to what we wanted to today, but I think we went and got to see a whole lot of cool new things in all the mods that we've got, especially all the IC2 upgrades, and I did actually spend the time to get my lap pack upgraded. I know a number of you out there are probably wondering, man, Noc'Craft, how did you deal with just those water mills to charge everything? And we will be getting to send some upgrades for that in the future, but I figured since there's not a whole lot of time left in this episode, there was one last thing I wanted to craft since we are upgrading after all. And I did mention that there are... Well, actually, before we start crafting, I did want to show you my rubber boots did finally break, unfortunately. They do have durability, and they will break after protecting you from fall damage. For a time. But when we made those up, I did mention there is an upgrade. And I'm just going to go ahead and stick everything here. And it's from the Portal Gun mod. And for those of you who played Portal, you might know that Chell, or whoever it was in Portal 2, as I'm not sure, I haven't played that one yet, has these cool little boots that let you fall from just about any distance, and it is called the Longfall Boots. But since they are boots, not boot, we need to make 2 of them. And then just simply put them together, and now, just like Portal 2, we can take all the fall damage we want and never, ever have to care about damage. It's really even so much better than the rubber boots. And here we go. This is a pretty good fall, pretty good example. And no damage. Awesome. And I never really got a chance to show you guys just how fast the advanced drill upgrade is. Pretty fast, yeah. Oh, I love the advanced drill. It's a worthwhile upgrade. And you might be wondering, what am I doing wandering out here at this volcano so close to home? Well, basalt is going to be playing a feature in our Nether Nexus, so I wanted to go ahead and gather up some of this and, you know, show you guys where it's coming from. But like I said, I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of mining of resources. This is about where we're going to have to call up today's episode. I do apologize. But starting in episode 12, we will be in the Nether, and I should have most of the supplies I need. And I'm going to start going over my plan for how that all is going to work. So, this has been Nocturne. I wanted to thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And actually, considering it's episode 11, I did want to take a little time to talk about episode 10. Hope you guys really enjoyed that one too. It took a little bit of work to get it just right. So I really hope you enjoyed the music. I hope you enjoyed the Blaze Farm build. Again, I was just kind of experimenting. I don't know how you guys will enjoy the hour and a half compressed down to 15 minutes. But I thought it was actually a lot of fun, and I think it turned out great. So, hope you guys enjoyed. So, I guess once again, this has been Nocturne, and I want to thank you for watching. And I'll see you guys again next time.